Well, time for me to be part of your world. Here we go. Thought about this title. I did. Editing Joe. Hello. This is targeting a very specific group, but I really like the title. I think it fit. I figured we go for a little bit of shock value. Because there's a lot of stupid narratives and stupid ideas and stupid conversations being had around Lorcana. I was like, man, is this a little bit too aggressive? And then I thought about some of those conversations that I've been a part of and comment sections I've been a part of, and people who are really trying really hard to make this a terrible, miserable, god-awful thing and not thinking really about anything other than trying to stick it to the man. So at the end of the day, yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with the title. This isn't a reflection of the entirety of the Lorcana community or anything like that. But there's a lot of people trying to do some stupid shit. So some of this is for y'all. But the rest of you, enjoy this opening. It should be pretty fun. I am not good with box openings, and it kind of shows. That became a 40-minute amalgamation of whatever the heck was on my mind. But anyway, I figured I'd do a little bit of a box opening for Lorcana and talk about how I feel about its reception so far, the game, my experience in teaching it and talking about it. With people and, you know, what I've seen from the community. I also wanted to share a little bit of my thoughts from kind of this corporate speak side and industry side and what I know about like bulk printing that talks a little bit about the supply issue and some of the thoughts around people who are trying to come off and say that this is like an intentional scam. I want to hit that one pretty hard because it's just straight up dumb, and I'm not even going to be nice about it. It's just straight up dumb. So I figured I'd tackle. But yeah, there's this one's really kind of, well, this intro is gonna be a little bit short and sweet because I gotta take care of the little one who's just woken up. Good morning, little man. That's Buffy. I would love to play this game with her sometime. And in order to do that, it needs to be kind of a good, friendly space throughout. So, please listen. I hope you do listen. I hope you get something out of it. It really is not just me looking at cards and being like, ooh, I like this card, though. There's a little bit of that because I got my giant tink. I'm really happy about it. Where are you? It's not enchanted. Whatever. Little things. But yeah, please, if you have any thoughts or anything that you also like to share, leave it in the comments. And yeah, that's kind of all I got. So let's just roll into it. So I want to do a couple things with the video. One, we got ourselves a box of Lorcana, and I really want to open it because I've enjoyed Lorcana enough. I'm gonna go with enough. We'll talk about that throughout the course of this. But I wanted to share some thoughts about like what I've seen from Ravensburger and kind of my industry take, somebody who's paid a lot of attention to the industry side of things and who's had to kind of deal with a little bit of corporate speak, but also somebody who's worked on the back end. I want to share some of the insights I have on some of the weird statements and things like supply issues and stuff that the community that I've been seeing definitely doesn't know what they don't know. And it's been leading to some weird kind of feel bad, silly conversations. So I want to share a little bit of that. And I don't really have an agenda for this. I'm just going to open packs, and I'm going to talk a little bit. And I have probably not enough sleeves. This is probably not enough sleeves for what I'm going to want. But whatever, you know what? We'll figure it out. Additionally, I'm also probably going to be doing a little bit of sorting with this because one of the things I want to do with this box and why I actually got it was I want to see how well these cater into bulk decks. For anybody who knows me from Flesh and Blood, you'll know that one of my specialties with that was being able to create bulk decks out of one single box and focus a lot on like efficiency and trying to get the most out of it. Because when you have a product that doesn't have a lot of supply and you have so many people that want to play it, one of the best ways that you can grow is really to leverage something that we know is in abundance, which is going to be bulk. A lot of people are cracking packs for like the spicy stuff, and you can look on TCG Player and you can see very much that, it's these commons and a lot of commons are going for like pennies. So why not leverage the bulk? Try to see if we can create, if there's some good like kind of beginner starter decks that we can throw together, and try to bring people in the game that way while we wait for a new product. So I'm gonna dissect this box a little bit, which is not gonna be something I do in this video. But yeah, we're gonna go from there. This was opened out of the gate, like it was open, but it's 24 packs. Like they just got it, but they cracked it. But it's It's fine. We're gonna go with it. I figure we can do something fun. Also, we can maybe we can semi-box war this a little bit, right? Maybe we can do a little bit of a semi-box war. I don't know how many. If I get like an equal spread of characters, I would hope I get 8, 8, and 8, right? I would hope that this aspect of the collation is done where I get 8, 8, and 8. I don't think so. This is there's only 7 for Mickey, and Maleficent gets 9. And Elsa gets 8. Well, congratulations to Maleficent. She will win this box war. All right. Well, that didn't work. Whatever. I'm gonna put these here, and yeah, let's get some stuff and talk. But so Lorcana in general, as far as like my general feelings about the game itself, the game's okay. For what it's trying to do, which is be a very like simple, like family friendly game, yeah, okay, the game's okay. It's not designed to be very difficult. The mechanics are fine. Like it's non-confrontational, which I like. They said that right out of the gate. It's non-confrontational. You're not dealing with life totals. You're counting points up. There's no like crazy stacks or anything like that. That's right. I might do kind of a fast sort off to the side. Merlin. A mini. That's not gonna work. That's terrible. I'll do that after. Forget it. I'll do it after. Aladdin, Merlin, mini. Sebastian. Jetsam. God, Jetsam and Flotsam together just really suck. I had to deal with that yesterday in the starters. But it's a good enough. It's a good enough start. It's a good enough start for a game. There's a lot of opportunities. I think. Sven, Mother's Knows Best. Coconut Basket. Jasmine for our first rare. Lovely Floodborn Jasmine. I'm a big fan of that. Robin Hood super rare. It's not one I actually have yet. And for our foil, beautiful Healing Glow. Nice. And then a bottom left. There we go. We can do the box war with our Mickey token. All right, cool. Set that over there. These will go faster, I promise. The game's fun enough. I feel it has maybe a little bit of a slippery slope issue, but I also think I'm only really playing off the starter decks right now, and the starter decks are not balanced. They're not balanced, just period. I feel like they would be balanced if you weren't really somebody who is adept to games. If that's a thing, then okay, they're balanced, but mostly because you're kind of not entirely sure maybe what you're looking for. But for somebody who's played a lot of games, like Amber Amethyst is just straight up better in damn near every way, shape, and form. Vicious Betrayal, Mufasa, right next to each other. Boo, Timon, Tink, Simba, Uncommons and a Maximus, Starkey, Fan the Flames. I really like this card. I like the idea of protecting. Musketeer Tabard, Whole New World, nice. Cracking that Bell Steel Sapphire tech, and a Scar rare foil, nice. Bottom right. Very cool. I'm happy to give this. I will say one thing that's been really nice is that I've been able to teach new players this game, and they've never touched TCG before, and they're like, not only do they get it very quickly, but they're like, this is fun. And they want to play again. Like, I was able to get that box. I got lucky and found it yesterday at Walmart. And they also had starter decks. I got one of each. I already had a set, but I got one of each for those individuals who are like, man, I really like playing this. And that's been something I've been seeing. I've been seeing children. I've been seeing parents. I've been seeing women. I've been seeing the not typical male, not typical white male demographic, playing this game and getting into it and having fun with it. And that's exactly what I wanted out of this game. That's exactly what I expected to see out of this game, is to bring those in. And that's why that's why I'm a little spicy when the garbage that is the normal TCG internet wants to come in and basically kind of treat this thing, especially like as an annoying cash cow and crap like that. Philip, Smash, good card. Dragonfire, can never have enough Dragonfires. I've learned. Ooh, super to start, which means whatever the next one is at least a super or higher. At least from what I understand, from what has kind of been happening, is it's a super or higher. Which it's a super higher. Ooh, it's that Mickey I don't have, who I think sucks. Let's see if we can go 3. 3 for 3? No. Ooh, Astro Lilo. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I kind of, I probably never use this, but I can't. I have to appreciate, like, this is just cute, and I'm actually happy to own this in foil. And I like the edge foiling. The edge foiling is really nice, and it doesn't curl. But this is cool. That's pretty solid. We got ourselves 3. Actually, gosh, we got ourselves 3 packs in. I've got 4 supers already. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Top right. Ooh, top right. I think. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4. Mirror foiling. Let's see if we can get the whole thing. Let's take Mickey. But yeah, so it's been really great to see so many new people coming in. I'm happy to be the first to say I am a little bit protective just because I've seen so much garbage in the TCG industry. I just can't stand a lot of it, and there's a lot of not misinformation. I think there's a lot of bad guessing and a little bit of like we don't know when it comes to things like supply issues and some of the responses to like what Ravensburger has said. And even some of the price gouging stuff, like I hate price gouging with a passion. I loathe it to pieces, and unfortunately, this is just the nature of the business right now. There's kind of no stopping it. But if anything, the best way to kind of deal with it is to learn a little bit of some of the tactics to ensure that you don't get yourself screwed. That if somebody says that something is of value, to know how to research and how to look out there and say, you know what, no, it's not that value. And I did a video prior called market manipulation techniques. Holy crap. I did a whole video on that. Please go watch that, Lorcana friends, so you kind of know what to look out for. And how scams are done and how you can be targeted. Ariel. Amazing enough, I've only opened, prior to this box, I only opened 11 packs. I did not get a Kronk. I'm happy to have a Kronk. Cut to the chase. A Flotsam. Ooh. BLT. Mickey Sandwich. That's what I go with. Brave Little Taylor. Bacon, lettuce, tomato. BLT. It's a sandwich. Sandwich. And we'll end with a Simba. Jeez, though, like, our rares to not rares. We didn't go 4 for 4 though. Super rares to rares, I think, ratio. I've got 1, 2 for 4. I've gotten 3 rares, and a lot better. But I like having a BLT. I didn't have a BLT. I know value-wise, nothing good, but whatever. I'm not terribly caring. I'm like, ooh, that's a $50 card, you guys. Like, no, not right now. Like, I want to be able to build decks, and I really want to see other sets where I can start making, like, movie versions. Just like, hey, we're going to put the movies together and see how the decks play out. And that's the thing that I like with this. Lorcana is definitely not going to be my first game. It just doesn't have enough. It doesn't have enough to it to be my main game. Worse Fire the Cannons. Worse everything. This is the sorry citizens. Sorry citizens. This is the sad. We're in sad box land. We're in sad pack land. So far. Sir Ashton, like Okar. Tink. Kristoff. Pascal. Miserably wonderful, underrated little... Oh, Pascal's so good. Cheshire. My favorite art in the game. Hands down. Hands down, not even close. I got a foil of it. I'm really happy. But anyway, Facilier. Never play a song, top 2... Oh, this is Scry-ish. Be prepared. I will take that. I will gladly take a be prepared. That is a good one to have. And developer bring. No, so this game doesn't have enough for me as far as like the lack of interaction. There's not as much depth as I would like to see. There's not as many choices. I just played the Star Wars Unlimited game for the first time, and that did some work. And I really, really enjoyed it. And Flesh and Blood is normally like my main game anyway, right now. But this is a really good number 2. This is a really good second game. I can feel I can bring it out. I can bring it out with anybody. I can even, like, I don't have to think too hard. I don't have to deal with, like, too much depth. I don't even have to, I think the other thing I like is I don't even have to present it to new players as how do you like to play games. It's like, hey, I got a princess deck. You want to play with genies? Like, you want to do that? And I could just kind of get them into the flavor. I appreciate that. I think it's good for that. But outside of that, depth-wise, not so much. Like, I've seen some of the meta stuff, and I've seen it. It's like, it's okay. Like, okay, cool. Ursula's Cauldron. Tamatoa Baby Crab. Giraffe Little Crab. Scepter, another one I actually kind of like, and I want to play around with this. I also really like, there's a lot of different design decisions I kind of just want to play around with. I don't know or care if they're good, but I think they'd be interesting to putz around with. Iago. Stitch Rockstar. Nice. And super rare Tamatoa foil. I am in for this. I am also in for this, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pack in. And we're still sitting pretty. Oh, that's, speaking of pretty, man, that's real pretty. I'll care about the sleeves later. I'll do the sleeves things later. I do have to appreciate that I like seeing gameplay videos. One, I like seeing gameplay videos. Please keep doing those. I like seeing gameplay videos. And people are like playing with the enchanteds. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna play this thing. That's something I really like. That's something when you know the game's actually going to be good. So regardless of how you guys feel about the community or certain pockets of the community, talking about value and being angry about XYZ, you know, gouging scams and whatnot, the community itself, and this is something that you can even say before Lorcana, the community wants to play this game and they're having a lot of fun with it. And it is an overwhelming amount compared to the little pockets who are just whining a lot. Despite the fact that I think Ravensburger made some pretty stupid decisions, just a lack of industry analysis blows my mind. Blows my mind. Okay, we'll just let's do a little Captain Hook here. Oh well, that's the end of that. Eric. But I think that there was a lot of, I would have liked to see more actual product. I would have liked to see industry analysis before RB came into this. They would have printed more. They would have known this was going to have a much larger demand than it did. Than they said. They infamously said, like, oh, we didn't know we were going to get this much. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Lantern. Hans. Anus Scars. Finally kind of a dead pack. It's been a while since we had kind of a dead pack. Top left. Wow, do I have, like, 2 sets? We'll try it again. We'll see if we get the head of Mickey. That thing kind of frustrated me. They've also done a couple interviews, and I feel like I want Ravensburger to stop trying to save face so much by being that, like, super conservative, super safe company. Just stop. Just appreciate that you've got a lot of people like the game, and supply is low, and it sucks, and you're doing everything you can. Don't give me this nonsense. There's like some really vague statements about capacity, and they're just trying to, like, it's not even trying to, like, they're trying to walk it back. It's just, there's not a lot that's reassuring. Even a man says, like, hey, we're going to have stuff in, like, Q2. Cool. You should have done that ages ago. Maybe you didn't have a timeline, but, like, hey, we hear you, and we see that these are problems, and they suck. Good Flynn. Real good Flynn writer. And we are going to do everything we can to work on supply. I also wouldn't mind trying to see some enforcement of, like, hey, we really want to get in front of this price gouging thing. I'd love to see that, but I don't think that's a thing we're going to get. Alright, anyway. Genie, thing that kind of sucks. Fishbone Quill, that I think also kind of sucks. And a Jetsam. Alright, now we're getting a little bit of, into a little bit of kind of, not boring, I don't want to say boring. Though not as many legendary. We're still early. So I would like to see Ravensburger try to get in front of things that they knew were going to be bigger problems. Like, so much of this comes from, you really didn't think that this was going to be a big enough issue. You didn't think that the conversation around, like, price gouging and all of this was not going to be something that showed up immediately. You did not think that a Disney TCG, at the height of TCGs, you know, at this huge moment of TCGs, you didn't think that this was going to be the success that it was. And, like, not even, like, as big. It's that they weren't even close. That's frustrating. And that they weren't proactive in understanding what this was going to kind of lead to, and looking at other games in the market who are not just the big three. And even the big three had this problem with Pokemon. Even the big three has this problem of, you know, stuff being incredibly expensive. Hey, Goofy, more bodyguards. Lilo, Dragonfire, Maleficent, Big Maleficent. Nice. Legendary. And a Triton. Very cool. It just shows that there just didn't feel like there was enough industry knowledge. It feel like they were just taking this for granted, like, oh, people figured out. But they would have had a bigger starting order, I feel. They would have launched into a much bigger starting order. They would have been more proactive with things. They even came out and says, like, we're going to print this thing. We're going to print a ton of this, and supply is not going to be an issue. Like, shut up. Shut up. I would have liked to see more industry analysis before this. This does not look like it had enough. Also, the Stefan Matty interview. Oh my gosh, this pack. The Stefan Matty interview where he's like, why are we doing a TCG now, right? If you saw the ICV2 interview, like, why are you doing a TCG now? Well, it's just a natural evolution of the company. No, it's not. Shut up. You guys are 100 years old. This is not a natural evolution of the company. So there's no way you convince me that that's a good answer. Hey, there we go. There's more, whatever. I just like seeing movies. There's no way in heck you convince me that was your reasoning. We are the peak, and because I feel confident that would not have been a hard thing to figure out, it continues to sadden me that they just didn't really think about what they needed to make this thing successful out of the gate. And you can call this a success, the garbage poisoned apple. Ooh, grab your sword. I like that there are rares that I would prefer to have more than a bunch of legendaries. But I am happy to have grab your sword. And a Sebastian. Neat. Yeah, it saddens me a little bit. It's a little frustrating. I hope that they fix this. I hope they correct this. Now, this said, I've had enough people and enough conversations around people thinking that this is a scam by Ravensburger. Stop saying stupid shit. I love it. I have to talk to people I talk to people on the regular who are just like, oh, this is just Ravensburger trying to scam people. This is a 100-year-old company with distribution out the ass. Every major distributor, they have a phenomenal relationship with Disney, and you think that trying to create a project that's going to gouge to 200% MSRP is really going to be a make or break for their company, is really going to push that needle in the slightest? Do you have any idea how big Ravensburger is? Stop with this. This was intentional, and Ravensburger's trying to scam people. It is sensationally dumb. It carries no weight whatsoever. Now, there are people out there who are trying to scam as a result of Lorcana. And again, go see my other video. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. And they lead to some weird ideas around it. Like, they thought supply was shorted. I'm definitely gonna talk about that. Hey, I think more bodyguards and another Donald. Sweet. Scar, Jafar, and the cards. The cards. So you pay one less for the next action you play this turn. Though I do really want to build Emerald. It's just kind of my play style. But no, anyway, so I want to talk about one of the key things that people have been saying when it comes to whether or not this was legit, or Ravensburger was trying to scam. It's the idea that they intentionally undersupplied to try to hype up value and try to hype up demand and all that stuff. And I gotta go with no. And I'm gonna go with no because I understand how mass production works. I understand what you have to do when you're actually dealing with a printer. You can't just, this isn't a Kinko's. You can't just hit a button and you print 100,000 boxes of Lorcana. That's not how it works. I think that this was, again, just improper industry analogies, unpreparedness, bad planning, and they undershot their order. But the problem is when you're ordering with a big printer, again, like I said, it's not a Kinko's. You don't just hit the print button and say, please print 100,000 of these, and I will send them to scissors, so I can cut them and put them in packs. You have to understand that you're dealing with much, much bigger machines and a much bigger process. Big Maleficent. I don't have. Every single legendary so far is one I have not gotten before, so I'm really happy with this box so far. Ursula, and You Have Forgotten Me. I'm really happy to be in cards that I don't have. Since it's not going to be my number one game, I'm not going to go crazy about play sets. It'd be nice to actually own them all. I'd like to have one of each. But anyway. So yeah, when you go to a big printer, you're not hitting a print button. You have multiple machines. You've got rollers. You've got cyan, magenta, yellow, and black kind of entire machines. You've got plates of what each of those colors are. You have an entire rolling film. You're basically printing foil. on these things, and you have machines that cover varnish. And, you know, when it comes to, you're also dealing with, like, the paper stock. There's a lot of different types of paper. If anybody's played multiple card games, you know there's a lot of, even board games, it's not even TCGs. There's a lot of different types of paper. And then you get into, like, well, are you going to put are you going to put varnish on the paper? What is the core of the paper? Like, I don't, I'll do this pack, and then I'm going to be bad. I'm going to rip something up. I'm going to rip up a piece of paper. I'm going to rip up a card. Anyway, Archimedes, and actually I can show you something else. Tinkerbell, Sven, One Jump Ahead, which I thought was better than really what it really is. Cool Maui, Marshmallow, I really like this one, and Shemaine, nice. Super. Let me grab a thing. Oh my gosh. Wow, really? Here we go. All right. Sorry about that all. We're gonna put in MetaZoo. Yes, I bought like one box of MetaZoo at the very beginning because I wanted to critique the thing, and I kept a couple things from it. And thankfully I get to use one of those things to really just rip it up. So all right, token. Sorry. Did this for a reason. Actually, this will cover a couple reasons. This is actually a really good example, honestly. So when it comes to paper, right? So this is a foil, by the way. But you can see, like, with this, you've got like that blue pulp. So this is called the core. Like, you're dealing with a core. So when you're actually shopping for paper as doing a big bulk project, this is kind of part of what you're thinking of. Like, what is the core? What is the center of it made out of? And some that you care about, that comes into things like thickness, the ability for whether or not it's going to curl for like foils. Sometimes you even care about it for its recyclability, things like that. You also notice, like, this is the foil. So this is actually a whole nother print. This is a whole nother roller. This is a whole nother process. So you have all these things to come into it, and then this is Lorcana, which you can see is just kind of a basic white, but really it's that's its core paper. But I've got a front and back print. I've got different varnishes. You can see these have slightly different finishes on them. These are all things that come into play when you're talking to like a very, very big printer. You need to make sure that you have the paper in stock for this. You've got multiple machines that you need to set rollers for, and you need to set the blades for, and you need to set alignments, because these are all very close to being the same thing. But you're sending over big sheets of, like 10 cards by 11 cards that need to get cut. You need to have everything aligned properly. You need to QA and make sure those blades are great. You need to make sure the corners, you're looking at, the difference in, look at the difference in corner in that. Like, this is a whole different series of blades, honestly. Like, this is a whole different setting. And you're doing this for 100 to 110 cards at once, sometimes. These are not small little things. So when you come in and you say something like, hey, we need to make more of these, it is not as simple as just hitting a button. This is a long process to get machines set up for success, and you're in the middle of everybody else's print projects, and it's September now. It's September 5th. So, you're in holiday printing season. Like, you are up against a lot of things. So when Stefan comes in and says, like, we are printing to capacity, that's not him trying to say, like, oh, we're just going to print like 20 and then tell everybody we only printed 20, haha. This is them literally saying we are working with printers to try to sneak in time that we can get as much as we can printed, knowing that we had to fit ourselves in a schedule, like a tiny little window. Hades, nice. I want to build something with this Hades. I don't think it's going to be good for a while. And Merlin, cool. That's what that is. That is printing in a nutshell. That is, this is why you have these printing issues to begin with. This is why it's not just as simple as them also saying, This is why it's not as simple as them going and saying, oh yeah, I see that there's a lot more demand. How about we just tell everybody we're going to print 100,000 more boxes and have them available for release? Can't just do that. You can't just walk in and hit a button. Really important to understand when it comes to supply. And chances are right now, probably what's in the way, if anything, for Lorcana is getting printed, what's in the way is probably set 2. Honestly. And that's, that's your holiday set. That's the holiday set. So, like, you cannot skimp on that one. I have the Fates. I don't know how I feel about this one. This is in the other realm of, like, I just want to try stuff. Captain Hook. While this character is exerted, opposing characters with the face of gain reckless. Ooh. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I wish it wasn't a 7. Aurora. I'm a fan. And foil Hades. Very cool. Very, very cool. So yeah, I would ask anybody who's like worried about their, who's having conversations of like, oh, people are trying to suggest that this is just a big batch of disaster. No, I don't think Lorcana has been a disaster. I think it's been not the best of launches because it was unprepared, and then it was just a matter of Ravensburger being kind of trapped in the reality of the situation they created for themselves. I really don't think they've been as transparent as they could be and should be. I wish they enforced certain things. I also really wish that they enforced things on distro. But nobody ever wants to enforce things on distro, and it just pisses me off, honestly. I would have liked to see more of that. Hey, freeze. I don't think I've got like any let it goes or anything like that. Like, there's cards I know like I really want to have. Does this say? No, okay, it's one of each. One of each color. Your guest. Frying pan, fan the flames. Floodborn Scar. I love the Floodborns. They're so cool. Speaking of, Captain Hook. And Wardrobe. Not much going on there. But yeah, I'm hoping for... I don't know what I'm hoping for set 2 as far as announcements. I know they want to get their... They're going to get their supply figured out. There's eventually going to be a point where there's too much. I get why, you kind of have to wait for Q1. You can't stop your process now and just, we need to stop everything and print more set 1. Like, if you're in the middle of set 2's printing, just finish set 2. Don't sacrifice your second set so you can try to solve the first set issues. Like, you already have issues with the first set. Like, there's already problems here. Don't go 2 in a row, or else then you really start having product confidence issues. I hope they learn over time. Captain Hook. Ooh, I don't have one of these, and I'm happy to have one now. Another one of those. Another one of those rares that are just like real expensive and just real good. I'm really happy to have this Lilo. A 1 for 2? Like, shut up. It's so good. And a genie. But this is one of the things I'm talking about that I actually really like about Lorcana, is that you get into these, like, a lot of the cards that are pricey because they are good. Like, this is, I think, I've seen this around like 13 to 17. I don't know what it's at now, but I've seen it sell for like 13, 17. And it's because it's just straight up good. That's just straight up a phenomenal card. And I like that. For me, that's a sign of good. That's a sign of a good product. That is a sign of a healthy product. That is what I would want, like, the market to kind of do. I prefer that over this is rare, this feels rare, or we've just decided that this is the expensive card in the set. You get that with other games and it sucks. It really sucks. So again, things that I feel are going to make this healthy. Also, the nice part is that the buying behavior for people who are coming into Lorcana kind of for the first time, they're not used to a TCG where they're like have to be so up to date. That's just not a thing. There's enough people who are playing this casually for fun. They're playing because they want to play princesses, or they really like Ariel or stuff like that. They don't need to freak out. Man, another legendary that I do not have, and I'm thrilled with that. I'm happier with that than I am getting doubles. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this is the buying behavior and the behavior from your typical Lorcana player. For people who are brand new, they're not buying this thing by the box. They're not buying this thing in cases. They're not freaking out of like, I only care if I get a play set for things. Like, they're in it to have fun. So as much as the supply issues definitely suck, and for anybody who's followed TCGs and are treating it like it's just any other TCG, yeah, it's going to look like an absolute disaster, but you got to think bigger picture. You got to think about the actual people who are buying this and what the joy is that they're finding it. And I have bad news for you. The joy people are finding in Lorcana is not the same as what you would find buying cases of Flesh and Blood. That's just not a thing. And that's why I think Lorcana's actually going to stick around for a little bit, and why even this little hilarity, this madness and crap that was the first chapter, is not really going to do permanent damage to the game. Yes! Yes! I have been wanting this card so much. Everybody's trading for it. I think it's like the best card in the set. It's phenomenal. I don't have one. I'm very happy to have one. Yay! I got Giant Tank. Rawr! And a Plasma Blaster. Sorry. Little moments. And it's just a super rare. But yeah, I think think the bigger picture of the audience. They're going to be fine. Lorcana is going to be just fine. It just is. Even the price point is going to be just fine. Honestly, at $6 a pack for one of these things, it's 50 cents a card, essentially. And I don't mind that. I remember people were complaining at the very beginning of like, this is just madness. This is like the highest booster pack. Like, one, you should pay attention to Magic. Two, you should pay attention to secondary market stuff because people are still selling for that. And three, again, this is an audience that is not buying by the case. They're not buying by the case. They're in Target. They're in Walmart. They're like, hey, you know what? Let's get a couple of packs because we got $20. Let's get a couple packs for us and for our kids, and not just sit there and do what I'm doing right now and open a whole bunch of stuff all at once. Do it again. This card I actually want. If it's not Baroque, I don't fix it. Man, another super. Granted it's just Mickey. It's just the starter super, but whatever. It's still a super rare. Still super rare. But yeah, like buying behavior is not a thing, not a big issue. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more with events, but I think that that's one of those things you kind of got to do sparingly. I also kind of don't mind that we don't see too much focus on events right now because it's a little bit of a feel bad moment for people who can't play. But I am hoping to like put together bulk deck lists, just because some of these are going for pennies, so might as well like, hey, here's something to play with, and it doesn't hurt my wallet too much. Would love to do that. So that's going to be what this box is over here. I'm gonna try to break it down and see if I can get some decent bulk decks. Ooh, all right. So super in the front, which means next one's going to be super higher. We'll see if we can go 3 for 3. So Hans, Genie, would have rather had like anything else, and Aladdin. That's okay. Any place return shows it. This one's okay. He's okay. I don't think that Genie's that great. The Hans is pretty solid. Like anytime you can do any poke damage is actually pretty solid. How are we doing on legendaries? As we can wrap this up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So a little bit low. But like, between the like, that's not a bad spread for supers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 off of 21 packs. I can't exactly complain about that, really. Supers are higher. Like I can't bitch. And I got my Giant Tank, which I'm happy about. But no, so this will probably be like the only box opening I honestly do for first chapter. I just did this because I want to break it down, but I really am not. I don't really have the capacity to get any more. I'm not really trying too hard. Anyway, I've got other things I got to focus on, like my daughter over there. But yeah, I wanted to share that a little bit of I think Ravensburger did a miserable job really preparing for this. That is their biggest mistake. I don't think that this was a scam. I don't think it was ever trying to be. There's no way they make enough. I'm sorry. I hate this is not being gouged enough for this to be a scam, as terrible as that sounds to say. But also I think that there's been just a lot of just not really understanding how the industry is. Is that my second sim foil? There's just not a lot. There's a lot of kind of we don't know, not really understanding how the industry works, not having seen some of the manipulation techniques that some people that I've seen kind of creators and sellers specifically using to try to suggest value that isn't there, suggest scarcity that isn't there, suggest a doom state that does not in fact exist. Lorcana prices are going to normalize. They're going to be fine. That's not an issue. Like, I'm not worried about it. If you want the thing right now, then yeah, I'm sorry. You have to appreciate supply and demand, and that's just how it works. And it sucks, but that's the nature of things. They're trying to fix it. I feel that they're going to. This is Ravensburger. They've been at this game for 100 years. They are not going to do the kind of damage at the relationships they have for something silly like this. That's not a thing. people gotta stop wanting this to be a scam so they can like stick it to the man. It's stupid. It's just stupid. I think we're expecting one more legendary. I feel like it. I feel it. And there we go. That is one that I already have though, but I'm not gonna complain. Because it's the cool Stitch. And a little Tink. Alright. Last pack magic as my daughter wakes up. Hello. Good morning. Here she is in the background. With your words. With her words. What I have to say is everybody else, have fun and just honestly support each other. Support the new community that's coming in. There's a lot of crap out there. There's a lot of people that really want this to function like a magic. There's a lot of people that want this to just be all the free tendies all the time. And honestly, y'all can go fuck yourselves. You guys are not helping the bigger picture of things. Anybody who knows any game ever is that things like the first chapter, like these things should appreciate over time. Value comes from appreciation. It is not the other way around. Magic didn't, you didn't see the other games that have like incredible value show up on day one. Some did because they desperately tried to. But this is one of those games that can stick around for enough years that first chapter actually becomes a good investment over time. But if you think investment over time is, well, I was able to flip it the day after I got it, that's not investment. That's called a deal. It doesn't function that way. Lantern, Maximus, super to end the day. And a Rapunzel, which is actually one I really like as a foil. So, hey. Cool. But, yeah. Let's sing Appreciate over time. And let's, we'll go through and... Maximus, Hans, Genie, Mickey foil. Great Tinkerbell, I'm very excited to have. Taka, Aurora, Marshmallow, Ursula, Maleficent, Rockstar Stitch, I'm happy to have. Tamatoa. Brave Little Tailor, I'm very happy to have. I think I'm only missing one legendary now. I think I'm only missing one. I couldn't tell you what it is. Whole New World, I'm really happy to have. I'm actually kind of happy to have this Mickey. Just because I want to try it. And I'm definitely excited to have that Mulan. But 5 legendaries, a lot of supers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yeah, 18 or higher. That's basically 1 1/4. It's about 1 1/4 super rares or higher per pack, or 1 per 1 1/4 packs. That's where we're going. That's what I wanted to do with that. But yeah, a little bit longer than normal, but I wanted to chat and get a couple things kind of off my chest with this, just because there was a lot of misinformation and kind of crap, and I really like where Lorcana is going. It brings in a great new audience. It's doing exactly what it set out to do, and it's doing it very, very well, outside of the misplay that was the preparedness issue. They were not prepared, wherever the hell it is. They did not be prepared. They did not do this. Oh, fine, it's in here. They didn't do that. They were not prepared. Their teeth and ambitions are not bared. If they did that, this is fine, but yeah. Lorcana's going to be around for a little bit, and I think it's going to do a great job for what it needs to do, but it's a different beast, and you got to treat it that way. Simple as that. Alright, I appreciate you guys. That's all I got. Cheers, everybody.